Welcome to all again. I, Gurunath Kharat, will start Class 10 Geography, Chapter 2, that is Forest and Wildlife Resources. Let's start with one instruction. Dear student, this chapter is to be accessed in periodic test only and will not be evaluated in board examination. I repeat, this chapter is to be accessed in periodic test only and will not be evaluated in board examination. Introduction part of this chapter. Our earth is home of millions of living beings, starting from microorganisms and bacteria, lichens to banyan trees, elephants and blue whales. This entire habitat that we live in has immense biodiversity. We humans, along with all living organisms, form a complex web of ecological system in which we are only a part and very much depend on this system for our own existence. Forests play a key role in the ecological system as these are also the primary producer on which all other living beings depend. What is the forest? A forest is the large area dominated by trees. Now, some facts and figures of flora and fauna in India. India is one of the world's richest countries in terms of its vast area of biological diversity and has nearly 8% of the total number of species in the world. 90,000 species of fauna, 74,000 species of flora, 15,000 flowering plants and 2,000 species of birds are found in India. But 10% of flora and 20% of mammals are on threatened list. The forest cover 78.29 million hectares, which 23.81% of the geographical area. Dear students, for the ecological balance, 33% geographical area should be under the forest. Now, according to IUCN, the different categories of existing plant and animal species based on International Union for Conservation, Nature and Natural Resources. There are 6 types of classifications of species. First one's normal, second one endangered, third one vulnerable, fourth one rare, fifth one endemic and sixth one extinct species. Now the first one, normal species. What is the normal species? Normal species is species whose population level are considered to be normal for their survival. Example is cattle, sal, pine and rodents, etc. The second one, endangered species. These are species which are in danger of extinction. Example: black bull, crocodile, Indian wild ash, etc. In this picture, you can see the saving endangered species of India like a tiger, rhino, etc. The third one, vulnerable species. These are species whose population has declined to levels from where it's likely to move into the negative factors continue to operate. Why these species decline day by day? Because of the negative factors continue to operate. The example of vulnerable species is blue sheep, Asiatic elephant, Gangetic dolphin, etc. Now the fourth one, rare species. The species with small population may move into the endangered or vulnerable category if the negative factors affecting them continue to operate. For the example, Himalayan brown bear, wild Asiatic buffalo, desert fox and hornbill, etc. The fifth one, endemic species. These are species which are only living some particular area, usually isolated by natural or geographical barrier. For example, Andaman wild pig, Nicobar pigeon, Arunachal mithun. And the sixth one, extinct species. These are species which are not found after searches of known or likely areas where they may occur. For example, Asiatic cheetah, headed duck, etc. The causes and factors of depletions of flora and fauna. Human beings transform nature into a resources obtaining directly and indirectly from the forest and wildlife such as wood, rubber, medicine, food, days, fuel, fodder, manure, etc., which depleted our forest and wildlife. Some causes of depletion of flora and fauna. First one, resources obtaining directly and indirectly from the forest and wildlife. Second one, the colonial period. The colonial period, the expansion of railway, agriculture, commercial and scientific forestry and mining activities. Due to this, the British governments cut the trees for the developments of these all things. Third one, after the independence, means the government of India cut the forest for the expansion of agriculture. Fourth one, plantation. Single commercial valuable species was extensive plant like a tea, coffee or a rubber. The fifth one is large scale development project. Large scale development projects have also contributed significantly to the loss of forest. Since 1951, over 5,000 square kilometers of forest was cleared for river valley projects. Clearing of forest is still continue with projects like the Narmada Sagar projects in Madhya Pradesh, which would eliminate 40,000 hectares of forest. Mining is another important factor behind deforestation. The Buxa Tiger Reserves in West Bengal is seriously threatened by the ongoing dolomite mining. It has disturbed the natural habitat of many species and blocked the migration route of several others, including the great Indian elephant. Seventh one is grazing. Eighth one, fuel wood collection. Ninth one, industrialization and urbanizations. 10th, hunting and poaching. 11th, ore exploitations. 12th, environmental pollutions may be caused nature or man-made. 13th, poisoning and forest fire. 14, unequal access. The 15th one, unequitable consumption of resources and differential sharing of responsibility of environmental well-being. And the last one is the overpopulations. Now, some factors responsible for decline in India's biodiversity. Less or more, the same point is here. Habitat destructions, hunting, poaching, overpopulations, environmental pollutions, and forest fire. Conservation of forest and wildlife in India. Conservation preserves the ecological diversity and our life support systems like water, air and soil. Government of India made one act in 1972, that is the Indian Wildlife Protection Act, with various provisions for protecting habitats. What is the aim of this Indian Wildlife Protection Act 1972? There are the major three aims of this act. The first one, protecting the remaining population of certain endangered species by banning hunting, giving large protection to their habitats, and restriction trade with wildlife. Second one, the central and state governments established national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. The third one, the central government also announced several projects for protecting specific animals which were gravely threatened, including the tiger, one horn rhino, and others. Now, some others act. Project Tiger was also launched by the Government of India in year 1973 to save the endangered species of tiger in the country. Second one, under Wildlife Act of 1980 and 1986, several hundred butterflies, moths, beetles, and one dragonflies have been added to the list of protected species. And third one, in 1991, for the first time, plants were also added to the list, starting with 6 species. The next topic, types and distribution of forest and wildlife resources. In India, much of its forest and wildlife resources are either owned or managed by government. The forests are classified under the following categories. First one, reserved forest. Second one, protected forest. And third one, unclassed forest. Now the first one, reserved forest. More than half of the total forest have been declared as reserve forest. They are regarded as the most valuable as far the conservation of forest resource are concerned. Reserve forest areas: Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, and Maharashtra have large percentage of reserve forest. Second one, protected forest. Almost 1/3 of the total forest area is protected forest as declared by the Forest Department. This forest land is protected from any further depletion. Now the areas: Bihar, Haryana, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Orissa, and Rajasthan have a bulk of its under protected forest. And the third one, unclassed forest. These are other forest and wasteland belonging both government and private, individuals and communities. The states: all the northern east states and part of the Gujarat have very high percentage of their forest as unclassed forest managed by local communities. The last topic of this chapter, community and conservation. The forests are also home to some of the traditional communities. Local governments are struggling to conserve these habitats along with government officials to secure their long-term livelihood. Sariskar Tiger Reserves, Rajasthan, villagers have to fight against mining by citing the Wildlife Protection Act. The Chipko movements. The famous Chipko movements in the Himalayas has not only successfully restricted deforestation in several areas, but has also shown that community afforestation with indigenous species can be enormously successful. Attempts to rewrite the traditional conservation methods or developing new methods of ecological farming are now widespread. The Bees Bachao Andolan. Farmers and citizens group like the Bees Bachao Andolan in theory have shown that adequate level of diversified crop productions without the use of synthetic chemicals and possible and economical viable. The Joint Forest Management. In India, Joint Forest Management JFM program furnishes a good example for involving local communities in the management and restoration of degraded forest. The program has been in formal existence since 1988, when the state of Odisha passed the first resolution for joint forest management. JFM depends on the formation of local institutions that undertake protection activities mostly on degraded forest land management by the forest department. In return, the members of these communities are entitled to intermediaries benefits like non-timber forest producers and share in the timber harvested by successful protections. Thank you.